Hello, welcome to today's video from Quick Trade Ninja. Today we'll be going through a quick start guide for the attach to indicator functionality. The attach to indicator functionality is a way for you to define a button or a hotkey to move or place an order at an indicator value. So any indicator, a standard NinjaTrader indicator or a third-party indicator that produces a plot or a value, you can make a button or a hotkey to move your order or place an order at those values, including an offset. So let's jump straight in. I've got a chart here, micro NASDAQ, 15-second chart. Nothing's been configured on it at this point. We're just starting from scratch. So we'll go ahead and jump in. As with any Quick Trade Ninja features, you'll want to enable Chart Trader. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Then I'll go to my indicator settings. Once the indicator window pops up, you'll see a Quick Trade Ninja folder. I'm going to go ahead and open that right now. And I'm going to do it as a Chart Trader button. So I'm going to need a button panel for my buttons to be displayed on. So I will accept the terms of service and all of the defaults for now. And let's, for this example, let's use the VWAP indicator as our indicator that we're going to attach to. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to my chart so we can see it. I'll just accept all of the defaults. And now I'll add a button. So I'm going to go to Quick Action, accept the terms of service. And I'm going to say I want to, let's do a buy order. Let's buy at the VWAP. So, and I'm going to make this a dynamic stop market and limit order. So depending on if I'm above or below, if the current price is above or below the VWAP, I can make it dynamic to make it either a stop market or a limit order. And I'm going to choose a reference price of indicator. So once I choose indicator, I need to come down here and tell the Quick Trade Ninja which indicator I want to use. So go ahead and click Edit in Input, and you'll see this window pop up. From here, you're going to go over to the indicators folder, open that up, and you'll want to find in this list the indicator that you want to reference. So like our example, we're going to use the VWAP. So I will come over here, I'll accept all of the default settings, and scroll down to the plot section. This is the place where I am able to tell which line, because this indicator generates multiple lines, the VWAP and then the standard deviation lines, I can tell it which one I want to use. So in this example, we said we wanted to use the VWAP itself. So I will select VWAP and then click OK. So this will basically buy the VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and enable that button. Let's change that to a green button, and I'm going to label it by VWAP. Okay, so I have that button over here. I'm going to add one more, and just as an example, let's say we want to do a buy order of the standard deviation level as well. So I'll go back to the same section, go down and find my VWAP indicator. And this time, instead of using the VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's buy the upper standard deviation 1. Go ahead and click OK. Enable my button. And let's call it blue. I'm going to say buy SD1. Okay, so I've got two examples here. The main point of this example, like I said, is to get you going quickly. But my point in adding these two buttons is to show you that you can select multiple values from an indicator that has more than one line. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. My buttons show up here and my indicator shows up. I've got my VWAP line here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I've got my VWAP here, my standard deviation 1 upper, my standard deviation 1 lower, and let's go ahead and test it out. So my VWAP is down here. If I click the buy VWAP button,
order submitted.
It submits a limit order at the VWAP.
Order canceled.
If I do the buy standard deviation 1,
Order submitted.
it goes ahead and does a stop market order above it, since the price is above, at the standard deviation 1. Now, another thing you can do here, you can always add an offset as well. I just wanted to show you that
Order
this
canceled.
Would place it at the exact level. But if you wanted to, for example, do a buy the VWAP plus or minus a certain number of ticks, you can add the offset as well. So this has been an introduction to the attached indicator feature. One other thing before I close out here, often this will be used to trail a stop. So one of the ways you can do that is by, in your indicator, you can enable auto trigger functionality. What this auto trigger does is it continues to click the button basically as the indicator value changes. So for example, if you were using an EMA, you could enable this auto trigger, and as the EMA changed, as the market moved, your order would continue to move and be in sync with that indicator. Similar to the attached indicator functionality that NinjaTrader has, you have a modified toward last price only option, which will, just like it says, if the market changes and the indicator value goes away from the last price, it won't move it. It will only move it towards the last price. So that's an option you can select. And then one other thing to note on that is you will have an on button color and an off button color. So that way you'll know, I'll just set this up, my on button color will be green, my off button color is gray. That way you know when I click OK, this is off. So it's not going to be updating each time the indicator changes. Once it's enabled, turned green, then if you were using this as a stop, an auto trail of a stop, it would continue to update until you disabled it. So that's how you can use attached indicator with the auto trail functionality. So this has been a quick start for the attached indicator functionality. As always, if you have any questions while you're setting this up, feel free to reach out to us. It's support@quicktradeninja.com, and we'll look forward to seeing you in another video.